Congratulations. What a great birthday and what a great time to speak about something very, very important. Money. Let's get honest. Let's talk about it. It's our brand new segment, Our Money Matters. And today we are asking the tough question, is it a good idea to lend money to a friend? Oh, my word.
Or a family member. Well,
Yeah.
let's find out as we invite you to join in on the conversation online. And of course, using that hashtag, Our Money Matters. Should we, do we have some online comments that we can head to, or are we going to go straight into the questions?
Let's chat amongst ourselves first, because I'm actually very intrigued about this, given the fact that sometimes our occupation, there's a lot of sort of resonance toward us having money to give.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So the question is, like, have you ever lent a large amount of money to a friend? And what was the relationship like that afterwards?
Afterwards. You see, I've got a rule, and this was established because I suppose myself and my friends, we've all been through a crazy business journey together, and we've had to lean on each other and support each other. So I think at some point, as much as there is an expectation personally on yourself, if I give money away, I don't lend money anymore, because the notion, once that exchange begins, if there is a large sum of money in a financial exchange that needs to be borrowed and lent, that's a slightly different scenario when dealing with a friend, and I would suggest you don't go for that because it can lead to a lot of complications. But I think the notion that I have is that you have to be able to be in a position to give that money and not expect it back, is the only way that I can approach something like that for myself. But there are times where you're going to have to rely on someone, and someone might need to rely on you, and it's more, how do you deal with that situation? You look like you've been burnt.
I've been in a situation like that, and it's never pleasant, because I think, you know, it's like Graham says, sometimes if you're going to get into that position and you're going to give money, give it without expecting it back. But if the purpose or the intention was, hey, I'll pay you back, I promise.
Like 100 grand is 100 grand as well. I mean, there's slightly different to
but there's a difference
10 grand,
between
5 grand, 100 bucks.
You know, when you pay, when you're expecting that money back, because it wasn't necessarily something you could freely give, but in that moment you helped that person out. And I unfortunately have been burnt in that way, and it really leaves the relationship strained.
And
it's
now,
not worth it.
Let's flip the script for a second. What about borrowing money? I mean, we've all been to the darkest points of our lives where we had to borrow money. Now, what did that look like for you, Graham? Borrowing a large amount of money and then navigating your way after that?
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is, if I look at the financial journey, and I mean, we'll play open cards here. We've been through a crazy couple of years in our industry.
Yes,
I think few people would understand the level of desolation. So all of us have been making moves, big moves. For me, one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to do is ask for help in that way. Undoubtedly one of the most challenging things, and it stuck with me for such a long time. I think I've struggled to put it in perspective. It is a very difficult thing, which means that, exactly as you say, it's a two-way flow here. It's not necessarily just, you know, someone being lent the money, but someone in that position needing the money is also going through something. So it makes it a very complex situation.
Zoe touched on something around, you know, when you have an agreement with somebody, that person says, okay, no, I'll give it back to you. But sometimes you also want to know where the money is going, because, you know, essentially it is your money that is leaving your hands, going to somebody else's hands to enable them to pay for something. Sometimes it's groceries.
And it's an emergency.
And it's an emergency, but like, how important is it to know where the money is going?
For me, I think I would be upset if I had helped this person out that seemed so desperate, and here they are on Instagram living their best life, having bottles at the table, and I'm like, okay, you can afford to have bottles there, but why didn't you at least attempt to pay the person back? That's where I get upset.
Yeah, I think to offer a counterbalance, I mean, and that's just a natural thing, and all of us have that, but it's also, you don't know what the pressure points in a person's life are. So for them, it might be the thing that gets them up in the morning is the fact that they one day a week they could go and have that moment, and then they're willing to suck up the rest of life for the 6 days before that. So I suppose you never quite know. For you, the money might be the basis point, but for them it might be something else. But these are things that you need to talk about if you've got an expectation of getting that money back.
Absolutely. I mean, profound conversations. And we're going to continue this narrative all the way through. So if there are any questions from your side, you know the WhatsApp line number, 063-408-8863. And money can be really tricky and become messy very quickly. So when in need, rather rely on a bank that has your back. Nedbank's personal loans offer you the freedom to spend your money however you like, and with flexible repayment terms and good interest rates as well. You can breathe whilst enjoying financial stability. And for that extra touch, if you take out a personal loan with Nedbank and open a Savvy account, you will get 200 Rand cash back every month for the duration of your loan. And what a deal. If you want to get those details, go to nedbank.co.za.
Join the bank that's best for your loan. Choose up to 200 Rand cashback monthly with a personal loan. Apply for a personal loan and a Savvy account today. Nedbank. See money differently.